Michael, it was a funny night. You guys looked like you were in control all night and just nearly let it slip at the end. How do you dissect it?
We'll probably break it up, to be honest, to actually give it a good look at it. We'll probably break the game up a little bit. Certainly the start was really impressive. That's how we wanted to make sure that we got it very early, realising that obviously clearly Melbourne was still off the back of a 5-day break, so just try and get the jump. So to be able to score like that early was important. And then it was a genuine arm wrestle through the middle part of the ground. The end's a bit different. It won't take away from the positives of the game for us. We've been fighting, I reckon, for a good month. I think we've been in some good form. We've played against some really good sides, and sort of felt like we probably haven't been able to get the wins on the board. So maybe that's what it felt like a little bit in the last quarter, and we needed to get the 4 points. And we'll walk away with that against a very, very good side.
Bit of relief there with that saving tackle from Nick Newman.
It's pretty impressive, wasn't it? So we needed a few moments like that to go our way late. They certainly had more than their fair share in the fourth quarter, and they stood up when they needed to, and they fought back really hard. That probably speaks volumes to their resilience. Hopefully it speaks volumes of the improvement and the progression we've made over the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's been something we've been chasing hard, to absorb 20 inside 50s in the last quarter and still be able to hang on. I'm sure we'll look back at it and say there's moments we'd like to do better. We'd like to have some better composure. But generally across the whole game, I was really impressed with the win. I thought it was a really good win, and we've been talking about the phases of the game and how we want to defend as a team, and I saw a real shift there. And so we walk away pretty happy with the result.
You really turned the dial up on the speed and intensity in defence, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and that's what I felt like the difference is going to be for us. And Melbourne probably for a longer period of time have been able to get that part of their game in good shape, and they were able to keep doing it for maybe a little bit longer over the course of the whole night. But we've shown that we're quite good in that phase of the game over the last 12 months. But we're still in the infancy in its development, and it only again reinforces just the importance of it. And off the back of it, we can play the offense we want to play, and we've got some exciting parts of our game that we'd like to play as well. But it'll never be ahead of how we defend and what sort of contest we need to be able to bring to the game.
What's the outlook on Chera at the moment?
He's a slight hamstring, so we'll get that minor hamstring, I should say. So we'll get that scanned and see where that lies.
Do you know if that's the same one he's had?
No, I don't. No, sorry. No, don't.
What's going on from a coaching perspective when Christian Petrarca is starting to get hold of you guys? Obviously a really hard matchup.
Yeah, we tried a couple of different matchups on that, and he was pretty hot. Obviously, Matty Kenny was trying to do a little bit of a role with him around the ball. He did too good a job, so he went forward. That was a mistake. But he was sensational. It was to be able to kick. What did he kick? 5 goals, 1. He was sensational. Could have been a real difference for him. We talk about the collective a lot, but that seemed to make a fairly big difference. His particular individual performance was pretty special. But it did take us as a collective to be able to get the job done tonight. It wasn't going to be one person to get it done for us, and thankfully we did. George
Hewitt was pretty strong last week and a wet night tonight. What was the thinking behind making him sub?
No, we're just sharing the load. It's a long season. Matty Kennedy played there last week and George took his turn. As small forwards have done the same job. That's the approach we'll keep taking. We've got a squad mentality that we want to get after across this whole season. We realise that it's a long year, and we've been fortunate enough to be able to get some more bodies back, and that hopefully will put more pressure on players in their positions, because that drives the next level really. We've got the personnel to be able to keep finding form and keep challenging others, and if we can share the load, then that's what we'll keep doing.
I'm impressed with you, man, with Sam Walsh. I mean, looking at him tonight, you wouldn't have known he's a player that's missed a chunk of the pre-season or the start of the season.
Well, he didn't actually miss as much as pre-season as you think he did. He missed the back end of it when the game started play, but he actually got a full pre-season under his belt. But that aside, he's a competitive beast, and he's got some really high standards for himself and the way that he plays, and when he was always going to take him a little while to get into it, but it doesn't seem like it, does it? He's just picked it up and gone with it, and he's a very important player to us. And, if you look at our midfield group, they haven't played a lot together when you talk about Pitto and Tom and Patrick, Walshy, Kennedy, George, Chera. They haven't played a lot of footy together. And so to build those relationships and that cohesiveness you need, it takes a bit of time. But they get along really, really well, and they're good teammates with each other. And the more that we can get them out there playing together, the better we'll be.
Pitnat had a pretty hefty splint on his fingers. Is that something that'll need scans, or is he all good?
I'm not aware of it. I'll go check myself, but no, I'm not aware at this particular time. I haven't got that brief. Cheers. Thank you.